Good afternoon. Shalom and blessings to everyone. I know I am pretty late doing this, and I'm in my own room. Everyone's gone. We only have the dog to hear. And he just started whining when I started my recording. Other than that, he's a good dog. Okay, I'm not going to waste much time today because I do want to start my other teaching, which I did start before, and I got maybe halfway done with it, and I had major problems with my phone. The memory on my phone, my SD card, my phone itself, it just went all haywire. So needless to say, half of my teaching I did, and it was saved. But then when I went back to try to redo it, the teaching that I did, half of it was completely gone. So I don't know what happened to it. So I will actually redo that completely. It has to be for some reason. I was actually going to do it first before this one, but my computer just started being all crazy and saying my password was incorrect, which I don't understand why. It only leads to one thing, that someone does not want that teaching to be, and it is most certainly going to be after this. No matter what I have to do, I don't care if I have to stay up all day, and I have to work tonight, so that will not be good. So let me go ahead and so continuing my blabbing, my mouth, let's go ahead and do this. Okay. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you. We thank you for this beautiful, wonderful day. And we thank you for everything that you have done for us. We thank you for many friends and family. We thank you for opening our eyes to your truth and creating in us a clean, pure heart, a heart that seeks after you and seeks after your truth. And Father, you know the many trials that I have been through trying to do your will, and me, I just keep failing you, Father. Please forgive me. I get caught up in doing all kinds of different things, and I don't mean to. Please help me keep my mind focused on you and doing your will. And I know that you will send help for me. Someone who actually cares and will help me along with this. In this lesson, it's Honor Yahuah. Lesson 22. Father, please bless this lesson. Open our eyes to see your truth within. Open our hearts and our minds to receive everything that you have. Help us, Father, and in your precious Son's name, Emmanuel. Salam. Okay. The lesson Honor Yahuah, lesson 22. And this is from the Believer's Authority by Andrew Womack. I said, I believe in the last one, more about it, but I don't know, maybe I should say it in each one. It would be nice for people to start watching like the first one onwards, so you'd get more out of it. Because I do say things in others that I don't say in it just comes. I don't need to stop saying sorry. Okay, where's my glasses? Sometimes I need them, sometimes I don't. And I have been fighting a headache, which is spiritual, very spiritual, because it's been a little while since I did my teachings. So yeah, Yahuah will use things like that to say, hey, get on the ball. What are you doing? Stop loafing around. Stop being lazy. I'm sorry, Father. Okay. When you cooperate with Yahuah's special laws, his power flows. When you disobey them, it stops the power of Yahuah from operating. Okay, let me repeat that. When you cooperate with Yahuah's spiritual laws, when you cooperate with Yahuah's spiritual laws, his power flows. When you disobey them, the power stops. It stops him from operating. Again, we see this very clearly in Mark 5 with the woman with the blood of issue, which we have talked about that before. A certain woman, which had an issue of blood where did 7 come from? An issue of blood 12 years, had suffered many things of many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and was not better, but rather grew worse. That's Mark 5:25 through 26, which, if you do your research about the doctors back then, you would understand why she got worse. Yeah, grew a lot worse, I'm sure. This lady had gone to physicians for 12 years, although their treatments had depleted every penny she had. They had not helped her a bit. If a woman like this came to me seeking healing from Yahuah, and gave me every penny she had, yet was not healed, someone will be on the news accusing me of being a crook and a charlatan. Since people just expect the power of Yahuah to always work instantly, they would come against a preacher. However, they wouldn't give a second thought about giving all of their money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, to medical doctors who have been known to make mistakes and even kill people. I'm not against doctors. I'm just saying they are not invaluable. However, hardly anyone ever considers that. Which, if you think about the doctors nowadays, you would understand. Why put your faith in doctors? Why don't you put your faith in Yahuah? You know, he's the great physician. He's the great doctor. And he heals us completely, not partly. And the doctors nowadays, they just want to push pills at you that hurt your other organs and cause more problems. So it's best to go to the one that can fix it all. In the natural realm, people understand that there are laws, that sometimes problems arise, and not everything works out the way it's expected. Yet when it comes to the things of Yahuah, people just expect them to work with ease, completely problem-free. However, there are spiritual laws that govern the kingdom of Yahuah. It is not Yahuah that has the hard time doing things. It is the people. People are dealing with different issues. Since there may be a problem in receiving through me, not because Yahuah is a problem, but because I don't know everything, and they don't know either. Which, no matter how much you learn, you could be on this earth 300 years and constantly be learning things, and you still will not know everything that Yahuah has, and what Yahuah has done, and what Yahuah wants to do. Now, you won't know everything. So no matter how smart you think you are, you're not really smart. Just remember that. So you don't get no puffed up head. Sometimes when I'm praying with someone, we'll see 50% of their healing manifest. So I will go back and keep praying with them. Other people have come up and asked me if it's really Yahuah, why do you have to pray for them again and again, standing and believing? If it's Yahuah, then they would just be healed. That is someone who does not understand there are spiritual laws. Yahuah's people are just barely beginning to scratch the surface of understanding how things work. Sometimes it takes time, not because Yahuah has problems, but because I'm having a problem, or the person receiving is having a problem. No one understands everything just yet. And this goes very well in our personal lives. If our personal lives are not well, if we are talking to many guys or we're flirting with many guys, it don't matter if we are single, if we are with someone, our main focus needs to be first on Yahuah and doing Yahuah's will. And when we're doing Yahuah's will, then Yahuah will send the right people along our path. And if we are alone, we don't have a husband that only Yahuah can unite, he will bring, then we have to seek him and he will bring the right one to us. But everyone who comes to you and says, oh, you're beautiful, or oh, your smile is great, or you got beautiful eyes, we cannot, what's that word? We cannot accept it. We could acknowledge it and say, okay, thank you, but draw the line. Say, no, I cannot be involved with you, whatever. I'm about my Father's business, and that's it. And the right one, you will know. You will say, hey, look up. This is the one for you. This is your husband. This is the one that I have set aside for you. And I know many people. I have a good friend that is going through this situation right now. And she keeps saying, what's going on? Why do I keep going backwards? Why is this? Why this? Why this? And she needs to take a look and say, hey, I'm the one who's causing these problems. It's me. Sometimes when we think we're doing all the right things, we're praying prayers, we're fasting, we're studying, it's easy to get sidetracked. I have been sidetracked for a few days now, and it's very, very easy to do. So I know this firsthand. But when you acknowledge it and you're like, wait, hold up, I'm being sidetracked, I need to get back on the path. I'm always talking about getting back on the path, right? And this is not the teaching, but this goes along with it. If we are not on the path that Yahuah has for us, and we're going this way and in seeking Yahuah, doing his will, then all these teachings and learnings and having faith to heal and all this, it's all in vain. Because when we go off on the distraction road, everything starts falling behind, and our faith is, our hearts are getting full of all this other junk. And that's what it is. It's junk. If it's not from Yahuah, anything that is a distraction is junk. You might say, well, I have pastors coming to me, talking to me, and well, is it bringing you to what Yahuah wants you to do? Are they, increasing your knowledge? Are they praying with you? Are they seeking the truth, or are they just following their religion? We have to think about each one of these facts, because if we're like, oh, well, they do this, they could still be sent by Satan to distract us. And we have to realize that. And I had a man just recently from India, which I have a lot of people, a lot of friends from India. And this one here was different. And I started thinking, well, maybe he's the one. And then things happened, and I'm like, wait, no. I had to take a step back and say, no, if he was the one, he would not have said that. He would not be doing this. And he would not, no. So whatever happens, we have to, be willing to think. If I didn't think about it, and if Yahuah didn't say, hey, step back, step back and see this picture, that's the whole thing about letting Yahuah guide your heart. Because our heart doesn't know any better. Especially those who are like me, we like to believe in people. We like to have that fellowship, and we would like to be loved and to love. And it's easy for me to feel the other people, and if they like me, I'm going to like them. And I fall easy. And instead of taking a step back and say, hey, you don't believe the same way I do, you believe this way, and that's wrong. I know, because the Ruach HaKodesh told me and taught me, saying, hey, that's wrong, stay away from that. And if we don't take the step backwards, we will get all caught up in the feelings and things that the hurt. If we don't do what Yahuah says and follow his will, we will get hurt. We will. I'll get so heartbroken. I know I had a relationship that I believed that he was the one that Yahuah had for me. But all his actions, he didn't believe the same way as I did, and he just didn't, I knew something wasn't right, but I kept thinking, well, this is the one I had a dream about. I know he's the one. So I let myself, I gave myself completely to him. And he hurt me, devastated me, and I almost killed myself over him. Thankfully, Ahaya said no. He brought me away from that and healed my broken heart. But I'm just saying that all these distractions and things, even our dreams, just like that dream, if I would have really sought out Yahuah would have said, no, stay away from this, stay away from that. And I know I'm getting off the subject of the teaching, but then at the same time, it goes all together, because we have to be on the same path and don't let ourselves get distracted by dreams. Because I had many friends on Facebook telling me, hey, you have to make sure that dream is from Yahuah, because Satan can give you dreams and you think that it's from Yahuah when it's not. And I'm like, no. But yeah, we have to always seek Yahuah. We have a dream, we always need to pray and say, hey, give me understanding about this dream. Tell me, is this dream literally literal, or is this meaning something else? Because if we believe that the dream is meaning one thing and Yahuah is saying something else, then we go down the wrong road, and it takes us away from the book and what we're supposed to be doing. And we get fed all this other junk in here, and our hearts and everything gets all junky, and that replaces our true faith. We might have faith, but yet it don't build up. It don't, people can't see it in you. I do have another teaching which I wasn't going to say, but when you're going and doing what Yahuah wants you to do, you have this glow about you. You know, you may not see it, and even when you're not feeling well, Satan's attacking you, other people will see it and say, hey, there's something special about that person. That person has something real in them. And it's like you're always joy and peace, and no matter what's going on around you, you have that internal peace. And you have that faith where you all you have to do is have that discernment and, you know, see someone and say, hey, be healed, you know. And if you're going down the wrong road, it's not going to happen. It's not. Your joy gets taken away, your faith gets replaced, and you don't even realize it. And then one day you're like, wait, what's going on? You know, why have I gotten so far away? Trust me, I've been there, and I'm going to, one of my teachings is something like that. So, let's go ahead and get back to this. Just remember, you know, everything goes together. We have to always seek Yahuah in everything we do, everything we think. As Satan gives us thoughts, and we need to realize, hey, is that thought from Yahuah or Satan? And everything that Yahuah gives us, he will confirm. If he gives us a thought, he will always confirm it. Always. More than once. And that's when you start saying, well, yeah, okay. Yeah, 4 or 5 times confirming, yeah, I know this is from you. What happened to me? Okay, let's get back to the teaching on the woman with the issue of blood. The woman with the issue of blood had suffered many years from physicians and their treatments, yet nobody thought anything about it. I'm sure her friends believed she was doing the right thing. You know, they always say, go to the doctor, go to this doctor, go to this doctor. You know, let's see. As these doctors bled her of everything she financially had without helping her one bit, they would encourage her to go back to them and try again. However, these same friends probably called her fanatical and extreme once she heard of Messiah, Emmanuel, and decided to pursue receiving her healing supernaturally through him. Which, that's true. People are so quick to say, you need to go to the doctor. Oh, he didn't work. You need to go to this doctor. And they'll have a list of people sending you all over the country. Go to this doctor. He's the best. Go here. Go here. And then once you hear someone actually healing, you know, and they're like, hey, I hear this man's healing people. I want that healing. You know, and they'll be like, no, there's something wrong with you. So stay away from them people. This woman was determined. We have to be determined. Not determined seeking a man, not determined seeking a better job. We have to be determined seeking Yahuah. She had heard of Emmanuel and what he had done for others, which brings us to another law of Yahuah. You cannot believe and receive from Yahuah without first somehow hearing of Emmanuel and his word. Excuse me, I just ate chicken. Okay. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? So then faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of Yahuah. Romans 10:14 and 17. I'm sure you heard that plenty of times. Many people who are trying to believe and receive from Yahuah are not getting into His Word, which a lot of times people, when they say getting into His Word, they are referring to the Bible, which I do not. Getting into His Word is getting down on your knees and praying and begging Yahuah and crying out and praising Him and praying and saying, teach me, Father, teach me, and fill me with your grace and mercy. And then His Word comes to us. So I just got a message because my phone's on charging. Okay, so when I'm talking about the Word, in here, what they're talking about is the Bible, which the Bible has some of Yahuah's words in it and some of the Messiah's. But those of you who have listened to my previous teachings know about the Bible, so I'm not going to keep talking about it. But you do your own research and prayers about that if you don't know. So the word, the Messiah is supposed to be the Word, and we meet Him not through reading a book, but by down on our knees seeking Him. Faith comes through the word of Yahuah, the words of Yahuah that come into our hearts. If you want to increase and release your faith, you need to increase your revelation knowledge of Yahuah's word, which brings us to praying and getting down on our knees, crying out to Yahuah. That is how simple it is. I'm not saying don't read the Bible or don't read any other religious book. Just read it with care and always pray about it first. Pray Yahuah opens it up so you can see the truth and give you true knowledge and wisdom spiritually. And you can know the written word in all the books, but it's not spiritual. You have to know spiritually. There are people who violate this law all the time. It's seeking Yahuah, seeking His word. They're just expecting to get what they have asked for because they're in desperate situations. They don't know the first thing about believing Yahuah. They don't study the word. They don't get down on their knees. They don't pray. They don't fast. And if you don't believe in fasting, even those who are in different religions or even the health officials say fasting is very good for you. I believe in fasting. I do. And you get so much revelation. And at first when you start, it's like doing something for yourself. Yourself, you're cleansing yourself. And then after that, you start getting filled in a different way. It's just amazing. Just start, studying about that. And you will see. It's an amazing experience. It really is. Excuse me. They don't study. They just sit in front of the television watching all kinds of junk, wondering why they don't have faith. I have a problem with watching movies, especially when I'm very tired. I will put on a movie because I'm too tired to read, I'm too tired to pray. I start praying and I'm like, duh, So I put on a movie, and it's usually just any kind of movie. Nothing to really bring me closer to Yahuah, and nothing to give me any kind of knowledge whatsoever. It's just something to keep my brain occupied, I guess. And that's wrong. I need to change that. Always try to learn, learning is the most beneficial thing. Both faith and unbelief come by hearing. If you listen to all the negativity that's on TV and radio instead of seeking Yahuah, you will be filled of unbelief and you won't receive. That's just a law of Yahuah. Some people don't like that and say, well, that does not just fit my lifestyle. Maybe you ought to change your lifestyle to fit the word. I'm amazed at some of the people who come to me wanting Yahuah to intervene in their lives. Just in talking to them, it's obvious they have not spent an hour in the Word in a year. They don't pray. They don't seek Yahuah. They haven't been attending church, which you don't have to attend church at all. You don't have to study the Bible. The Bible was created by Constantine. Do your research on that. So what you need to do is get on your hands and knees and cry out to Yahuah. Pray. Talk to Yahuah. Talk to him like he's your best friend. Instead of complaining to your family members, first tell him what's on your heart. If you have a husband and wife, you need to talk about everything. The husband and wife, don't keep anything. Something bothering you, talk to each other. Talk to each other and build that bond between each other. And both of you, hand in hand, take it to Yahuah. Both of you, husband and wife, as one, take it to Yahuah. Let's see. I think my glasses are crazy. Okay. People are just living their lives totally for themselves, bound by the discouragement and despair that comes from keeping their minds on evil things. Yet, they want all the benefits of keeping their minds stayed on Yahuah. I get upset when people criticize and slander Yahuah as if he's the one who failed. He is not failing. They're the ones who have failed to understand and cooperate with his laws. And they don't want to do anything for Yahuah. They don't want to pray. They don't want to talk to Yahuah. They don't want to seek Yahuah. They don't want to do anything about him. They just want to live their life how they want to live it. And then when something